Welcome back, team. So we have a virtual machine ready in the same network. So that was exactly the discussion we started. So for instance, if you go back to your architecture, what are the architecture we were discussing? So this is what exactly we started, and you have the Kubernetes cluster sitting in one subnet, and you have the virtual machine which is ready in another subnet. Now the goal here is we are planning to make a connection from the virtual machine to the Kubernetes cluster. Why we need to do this? The reason for that one is, so as a DevOps engineer or as a Kubernetes admin, what exactly we need to do? For example, if some issue happens on the Kubernetes cluster, or whatever the application you deployed, that application is not really working, it is not responding. So always you should have some option to go there and see the logs or see the pods are really up or not. So these kind of things you need to ensure always. For that, you need to have this kind of access. Of course, in latest trend, you can see the tools like Prometheus, Grafana, Promptel, Loki. All these things are giving a better visibility than this kind of option. But my suggestion is start with this one first and try to understand. So once you are well versed with the Prometheus Grafana, then you can form completely a dashboard where you can see the logs corresponding to your Kubernetes pods. Alright team, so at the moment our virtual machine is ready. This is what our virtual machine, and I'm going to connect to this virtual machine. Let's use the Visual Studio Code and we'll try to connect to that team. Okay. So I'm just going for the connection. I generally go for the configure host. I'm just opening the configure host. And here, especially under the configure host, I'm just bringing up you have AKS VM, one AKS VM already. So what exactly I'm just going here, I'm just bringing up the IP address. What are the IP address we have? Just going here and just fill this IP with that. Alright, that's all thing. Alright, now just go for the proceed for the connection. I'm just going for the connection, connect to the host AKS VM. Okay. Alright, so it is asking the password, just pass the password. So this is the password exactly. We are just passing to this. Alright. So it will help us to just establish a connection with the virtual machine or something. You are able to see now. Okay. Alright, just click OK. Perfect. So fine team. So once you are inside the virtual machine, what exactly you need to do? So go to the terminal. It's the best thing which you can do. First and foremost thing, go to the terminal. So blindly, generally whenever you are here, obviously you will just go for the terminal and you will just come here. You will try to apply the command. What command you need to apply? What is your goal? My goal is to establish a connection to the Kubernetes cluster. That is what my goal team. So to do that, what you need to do, you go to the Kubernetes service. What are the Kubernetes service you provision? Go to the service. There you can see on Kubernetes service. Of course, any Kubernetes service you can consider, not an issue. And I'm just going for, this is just a connection only I'm showing. That's why. You just go there, blindly you will just submit, okay, there is a subscription, because you may have a lot of subscriptions. You need to tell where your Kubernetes cluster is sitting. That is really important. That's why you need to set this particular subscription first, okay? Alright, just go there and just submit the command. See the command, from the error itself, you can understand what is the problem exactly coming up. What problem is coming up, how to solve this one. You can understand from this particular error itself. It is clearly telling, see, you don't have the AGCLI installed. So please proceed on the installation. Okay, I gave one Microsoft link to just install this one. You can use this one. See, I believe whatever the recommended option is there, it is not helping us to make it install. So in this particular situation, you just go to the browser and just go there, AGCLI installation Ubuntu. Okay, install Ubuntu. Just go there to the particular website team. So you just come here. There is a single command. Is it? Just copy this one and just go back and just submit the command. That's all. So you're just making sure AGCLI is installed in the virtual machine, which will help us to apply the further AG command also. So far your connection was through portal UI, right? So now onwards you are connecting through a virtual machine CLI. So that is what exactly you're just improving in this particular connection point of view team. Wait for a few seconds, it will be okay. Alright team, so now see AGCLI got installed team. Alright, so once that is got installed, okay, I'm just proceeding for the one more command, just subscription setup one more time blindly. I'm just going for this, but actually this time it is telling the subscription doesn't exist in the Azure cloud. See, you need to tell them very clearly who has this particular subscription access. That's exactly the problem here. That's why you just need to apply AZ login. You need to apply AZ login team. No problem. Anyway, I think it's typo. That is first thing. But the best command which you can use always here is you can use this command team. This is the best command. Always this command will work. Okay, just use this particular command. This is also fine. Now what exactly it is telling? Open this browser and just pass this code. That's what exactly it is telling you. Just click on this one. So it got opened in my other window. No worries. Okay, let me copy this particular link. Okay, first, and just going for the browser and take another tab and just paste over there, and followed by just give the passcode. So what are the passcode that just recommending? Okay, so with this you are authenticating exactly. So you are telling to the Microsoft Azure exactly you are logging in via CLI. That's what exactly you are telling. Okay, now you get the permission. Now you go back to the not terminal. You go to the Visual Studio Code. Now you can see the JSON response queue, meaning that your subscription, what are the subscription, you are completely logged in. Now, the moment here is now I'm just going for the subscription setup now. That's really awesome, team. Okay, this is absolutely good. So once you are done with this particular part, what you need to do? The next immediate thing here is you just go here. There is a download cluster credential. This is the really important case where you need to pull the credential to the Kubernetes VM, not a Kubernetes VM. It's a standalone VM. Okay, I gave the name as AKS-VM, but don't think like it's a Kubernetes VM team. Okay, it's a standalone VM only. Okay, right. Since I'm using for the Kubernetes, that's why I just gave the name. But don't think like there is no relation so far. There is no relation so far between the VM and the Kubernetes. Now you are forming the relation now. Okay, just go there and just form this particular connection. What exactly it is doing? AKS get credentials, resource group under this resource group. This is the Kubernetes cluster. You are pulling the credentials into the virtual machine. The advantage of this particular thing is at any moment in future, if you log into this machine, automatically you can access the Kubernetes cluster. Point to be noted. You can have n number of Kubernetes clusters can be connected to this VM. That's what exactly the scenario which you can think about this one also. For instance, team, let me just zoom out a bit. Alright, so for example, team, now this scenario, if you consider this scenario, what are the scenario on the screen? For example, team, this is your dev environment AKS cluster, that's fine. This is your site environment AKS cluster, that's okay. And you will have pre-prod and production as well. But tell me, are you really interested to spend some money launching the virtual machine every time for the each and every cluster? Obviously, no. We are not very much interested. So then what exactly the technique you will use? Obviously, you will have one single VM and try to have the connection, this particular VM to this cluster and same this particular VM to this particular cluster. This is what the thing exactly you need to practice. So meaning that you should be able to connect your Kubernetes private cluster from outside of the network. That's the technique you should understand. Okay, just try to do as a homework this particular part. If you guys are unable to do this, I think I will explain one more time how to form this connection. Okay. Alright, team. Just try and let me know what exactly the things you guys attempted so that anyway I'll give the solution. Don't worry on that. Alright, team. So now the awesome thing here is the connection is formed already. Okay. To know that whether Kubernetes cluster is really up or not, you just go to just apply the kubectl SVC. Another problem. So always to interact with the Kubernetes cluster, you need to have some CLI tool. That is the tool exactly you are seeing as kubectl. The kubectl is the one exactly which you can use to connect with your Kubernetes cluster, which is mostly widely used tool only. So what exactly you need to do? I think they're recommending a simple command. Just proceed on that. Just submit this one. When you submit this particular command, again they're recommending just submit this particular thing with -FN classic. Okay, -FN classic. So just proceed on this particular. Now it is downloaded in the kubectl into your virtual machine. You can find these particular commands, even some sort of other sudo apt module command also in the internet. Okay. You don't need to worry on that. You can find in the internet also how to install kubectl in the Ubuntu machine. That's a search sentence. Okay, just try. Perfectly alright, team. So far awesome. Now I'm just going for the kubectl get SVC. That's perfectly alright. See, you have a connection to the Kubernetes cluster. That's really good. Perfect. Thank you for the session. See you in the next part.